Thank you for joining us on GLC Math. This lesson I'm looking at converting between kilometres and metres. Well, let's have a look at a distance. Let's say a road is say 8.3 kilometres long and we want to express that in metres. Well, what is the conversion factor for kilometres and metres? It's pretty important to first of all know how many metres there are in 1 kilometre. So the conversion factor is that 1,000 metres equals 1 kilometre. So kilo represents 1,000. So that is the conversion factor that we're using. And so how do we use the fact that, how do we use this conversion factor? I like stating that 8.3 kilometres, well, you could say that if we multiply 8.3 times 1,000, you'll get 8,300 metres. And that's correct, but we're not multiplying a distance by 1,000, are we? We're not making the distance 1,000 times bigger. But we are multiplying it by the fact that there are 1,000 metres per 1 kilometre. In fact, we're multiplying it by this fraction. And this fraction is called a unit because 1,000 metres is the same length as 1 kilometre. So when you take two numbers and divide them, if two numbers that are the same, if you divide them, you will get simply a unit, which is the measurement of 1. So all we're doing is multiplying 8.3 kilometres by 1. So it's still 8.3 kilometres. It's the same length. However, by taking the kilometre here and putting the kilometre underneath in this fraction, that kilometre will cancel with that kilometre. And look at what's left. 8.3 times 1,000 divided by 1. When you do the math of that, 8.3 times 1,000, the decimal will jump to the right three places. And it will become 8,300. And what's the unit which is left over here? And the answer is 8,300 metres. And that is how I like converting between kilometres and metres. Let me do another one. Let's take 16.08 kilometres. And we want that into metres. Okay, what I don't like seeing, and it works, I don't like seeing simple multiplication by 1,000. I do like seeing the fact that we're going to take this and use our conversion factor. And we can put one of these numbers on top and one of these numbers underneath. Now by putting the kilometres underneath 1 kilometre, and because we've got to cancel that later. So by putting the kilometres underneath, that will cancel. And we've got the 1,000 metres on top. So any conversion factor that you can think of, you can put one number on top, the other number underneath, and it's still a unit. So you don't change the actual magnitude of the original value. But we can cancel the kilometres. And we can then say that 16.08 times 1,000 divided by 1 will get 16,080, and the surviving unit is metres. And there we have a beautiful conversion factor for kilometres and metres. Now in the space I've got left, I'm just going to do another type of question, which is something like similar, but I'm going to do metres this time. So 16,205 metres, and we want to turn that into kilometres. Well, a lot of those who want to do it quickly will say, well, all you've got to do is divide this number by 1,000. Well, yes, technically that's true, because 1,000, there are 1,000 metres in a kilometre. So the mathematics that we write is we show the number we have to start with. We're going to multiply by a fraction. And we're going to put one of these numbers on top and one of these numbers underneath. I'm going to choose that one underneath because by putting the 1,000 meters underneath, the meter will cancel. And by putting the 1 kilometer on top, well, we have to make sure that these numbers are equal. That meter will cancel with that meter. Now we've got 16,205 times 1, then divide 1,000. So divide 1,000, the decimal jumps to the left, so that it will become 16.205, and the surviving unit is kilometre. And that is the way I like converting anything. Anytime you see me convert, I'll possibly be doing a very similar strategy to what I've done here. And until we talk again, stay happy.